Well, if you're going to catch us on the replay, I want to thank you for doing that. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. We appreciate you supporting and joining our channel. We do indeed. We're going to give it a few minutes and let people get in here before we get too excited about anything. Get in here before we get too excited about anything. Anybody want some popcorn? My good friend James told me I should try this popcorn because it doesn't have any extra ingredients in it, but just popcorn. Okay, nobody comments. Well, you're the first one in. We just got started 45 seconds ago. MJ, how are you? How are things in the Philippines? So, it's our first really warm day here. We had to turn the air conditioner on for the first time. We thank all of you wonderful people for being here. If you're curious, yes, the hot, sexy Filipina women will be on the live stream shortly in a little bit. So you got to stick around to see the cute girls. You're getting ready to go to sleep? So you've been up all night long. Wow, you're a party animal, man. I don't know how you do it. I gotta admit, I've been sleeping a lot the last couple of weeks. But sometimes your body says sleep, so you gotta sleep, right? I hear you. I can lay next to my beautiful, sexy Filipina if I go there. Yep. What we know, though, MJ, a lot of people come to our channels in hopes of seeing hot, sexy Filipinas. So what I always do is just promise them that they'll be seeing them in a little bit. That way maybe they will stick around. Maybe it's a little bit of false advertisement. I don't know. But then again, you never know who's going to walk around in my backyard. So it is what it is, right? But a lot of the people out there are just looking for girls to look at. That's why no matter how good looking we are, we're not girls. Adam's in the house. Adam, we appreciate you coming in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being new to us. MJ, say hello to Adam. Sorry, I'm having a snack. We appreciate you giving us a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel. If you haven't done so, hit that alert bell so you can find our all of our live streams and videos when they come out. I like to look, but that's about it. Hello, Adam. Feed your face. Yes. Adam says hello to MJ. MJ has a YouTube channel too. Adam, are you a YouTuber or do you have a channel? Are you married to a Filipina? Would you like to marry to a Filipina? Would you like to just look at hot, sexy women? I don't know. Tell us what's going on in your world, Adam. What part of the world you're from? Anything you'd like to share? Greetings from Norway. Wow. We got some friends over in Norway. Snore from Norway. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. We appreciate all of that. You guys coming in tonight to my little pop-up live stream, what do you want to call this? So Adam is, yes, I post video games. Okay. Snoria. Snoria. Snoria? Is that better? Or Snoria? Snoria? So Adam has a YouTube channel where he does video games, right? What game do you specialize in? We like Norway, though, whether I can pronounce your name correctly or not. Apologies, but we do enjoy Norway. 2 syllable, Snoria, with an R. All right. Snora. Snora? Snora? It's a cool name. Mine's real simple. David. Mine's not complicated. I've learned over the years to keep mine simple. So what do you do in Norway? What's going on in Norway? Fortnite and Call of Duty. All right. All right, let's try it again. Just try to imagine saying snore, and adding at the end, if that makes sense. Snora. Snora versus Snoria. Snora. Maybe. Working on an oil rig, mining facility. Wow. That's some actual real work. I'm a retired. I'm a deadbeat. I don't have a job. People wouldn't hire me if they could, you know what I mean? I used to teach college here in America. I did that for about 25 years. I was a safety specialist. Meaning I taught about OSHA, which is our federal regulations about safety and health in the workplace, both the construction and industrial health, and airborne contaminants, forklift safety, fall safety, hazmat, all that stuff, hazardous chemicals. All right, appreciate you giving me a break there. I did. I hated retiring. I was forced to retire due to health issues. You know, I did that for 25 years. I also did a lot of other things. I had a private consulting company. I managed a laboratory, handled finances, all kinds of things for our division. So I did a lot of hats. I wore a lot of hats. Teaching's fun. That's kind of how and why I started my YouTube channel. Was after being retired a few years, I was bored, had nothing better to do. So I started YouTubing, trying to be a online teacher, a YouTuber teacher. Didn't work. Nobody gave a shit. So I switched to what we do now, which is stuff nobody gives a shit about either. So I used to date a Filipino girl a couple years ago. Actually, nice. Hey, there's Joseph. Daniel, hello. How are you? Well, I dated a Filipina, and then I married her. So you're doing good, Joseph? All right. So Adam, our good friend from Norway, Snoria, and I'm butchering his name, but he's forgiven me for it. And Joseph, you guys all say hello to each other. Let us know if you guys have YouTube channels so you guys can reach out to each other. But yeah, I taught for a long time, did a lot of stuff. I did a lot of stuff. So, hey, Adam, and what's up, Joseph? Thank you for doing that. We like it when everybody kind of gets to know each other, have an open dialogue, a friendly dialogue. Because you never know how the world is. Hello, Adam says to Joseph. So, I did that for a long time, but I retired about 10 years now. I got almost 10 years, I guess, 9 years. But if you don't have a purpose in retirement, retirement life can suck. So I know everybody dreams of retiring someday. I have dreams about working. Snore, then So snore, snora, snora. I'm going to be coming up with some good name for you, buddy. But now I'm old and worthless. So I do YouTube. I do like to fish, Joseph. I'm sorry, Adam. I'm a big fisherman. Uh, uh, er, eh, eh, you know. So it's going to make me sound like I'm grunting. I do like to fish. I love to fish. I'm a big fisher person. I enjoy it. Mark is in the house. I haven't seen you. Mark, how are you? And David's been a while, out of touch for a while. How's your health doing? Thank you for that. You almost got it? I know, man. I lost something here. We've been doing good, Mark. Been doing as well as we can. Our dog Daisy died, by the way. If you haven't been following us in a little bit, our dog died. So not real happy about that. But yes, I love to fish. My wife is in the background. I have a dream that I was riding behind my dead parents. Then a cart stopped and I stepped out. So my wife is probably asking all of you kind people, what do you think of her dream? I love catfishing. You're a catfisherman. I've done a lot of catfishing in my life. I prefer saltwater fishing. I got into bass fishing and trout fishing, fly fishing. I've done a little bit of everything. Thank you for that, and great talking to you, man. Hopefully we can get my name right later on. Maybe. We just keep practicing it. That's the key. We just got to keep practicing. Practice makes perfect, my friend. But thank you for subscribing. Or my friend, we could just call you David. My name's David. We could just call everybody David, then I would know what everybody's name was. So, see, Pat knows. So, Pat, how are you? Good to see you. But thank you for subscribing, everybody. Jace says hello to everybody. Everybody's hello to Jace. Everybody, Pat, say hello to everybody if you would. Well, you know, we're trying to have a great day, great evening, great night, great day, Joseph. So we hope that you guys are having that too. Pat says, doing good, Brother David. Missed you and Lorelai both. Now, Lorelai's in the background. Well, and Pat, if you go back up and read Lorelai's comment about her dream, she's looking for answers to her dream, I guess. Adam, it's a great question. How do you grow a YouTube channel when you first start? Well, unless you get lucky, you gotta pound the pavement. And what I mean by that is you have to be your best salesperson. You have to go visit other channels, whether you like it or not. You have to go to other people's live streams, like this one, like you like it or not. You have to keep putting content out there. You have to keep putting shorts. You have to keep building your own personal network of people in hopes that if you get 10, 20, 30 followers who visit you on a regular basis, they will share and help you grow your channel. But I got a brother that's in sales, and he says the only way to make money in sales is to pound the pavement. It means you got to work at it. You got to keep at it and keep at it and keep at it, and you can never stop. If you stop pounding the pavement, going door to door, banging on the doors, which is going to live streams, making videos, and then you die. Sure, be happy to answer Lorelai's stream. All right, appreciate that, Pat. So, Pat, Lorelai said that she had a dream that she was riding behind her dead parents in a cart that had stopped and she stepped out of the cart. I'm trying to finish up. I got a really good friend. He told me I should try this. Here's a smaller version of it. See it? Skinny popcorn. It's supposed to have no artificial colors, whole grain popcorn. The ingredients are popcorn, sunflower oil, rice flour, salt, yeast extract, natural flavor, and that's it. It's like 3 cups is 150 calories. But it's really surprisingly good for not having any wonderful chemicals in it. It's really good. Pat, her parents are deceased. They've been deceased a long time. So, yeah. So if you get a chance, check out that popcorn. They got several different flavors, plain and ordinary. This one was cheddar cheese, white cheddar, just a very hint of cheese. I'm drinking iced tea. So Pat, what you're saying, everybody, is Lorelai was in like a golf cart or a cart with her deceased parents. They were going somewhere. Um, and when the cart stopped, she got off of the cart. So my theory would be she's probably just missing her parents. Oh, thank you, Adam. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. We appreciate everybody loving our channel. We do. We want everybody to do the best they can in the world. Um, so, Pat, how you been? Adam, Mark was here a second ago. Mark, are you still there in the background? Joseph, still here? All right. So it got nice and warm. I don't know about you, Pat, but it got in the mid 80s here. A little warm, but a little breezy. Yeah, it's still kind of sad around this house, to be honest, Pat. But we're doing all right. Lorelai's back to working. I'm just sitting outside, wasting time, and all of that good stuff. Yeah, we're going to be complaining about the weather in a couple weeks about how hot it is. But for now, oh, my lawn mowing people were here. They didn't put my gate back correctly. We're from the United States. We're currently in the central part of the United States. So where are you at from? What part of the world are you in? So Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Texas, that region is where we're at. We're in the central part of the United States. It's starting to dry out here. Weather's starting to get spring and summery, or summery now. It went from being cold to being hot in a day. Lorelai is saying, I didn't notice that the couple in front of me was my deceased parents. They looked happy and smiling and so bright. Okay. I suddenly, I'm out of the car. Where is by the seashores. Looks like the cart is crossing. All right. So maybe it's just telling you that your parents are happy. Happy. Maybe it's just telling you that they made peace with each other and they're happy and life is all good. Whether we're dead or alive, I guess. I don't know. Oh, Pat says, I think it's a sign what Lorelai saw. Well, what do you think the sign was saying, Pat? Do you have an opinion? Oh, you're over in South Carolina? Good. We have a lot of friends out in the Carolinas, Florida, Georgia. Man, we have a lot of friends everywhere, to be honest. But we like the Carolinas. It's kind of cold during the winter there, but we like the Carolinas. We've been there. So maybe it's just they're at peace, and it's not time for you to cross over with them. I guess I don't know. What does Pat think? Adam, what do you think about my wife's dream? I don't have dreams. I just have nightmares. So we actually got some family members that live over in South Carolina too. So Lorelai and I've actually been to South Carolina. What is the one that they call one that sees things? You mean like a seer or a psychic or a fortune teller? Trying to spell it. Adam's saying, I like North Carolina. Okay. Many says, yes, donut. All right. Well, I'm glad you like donuts. Trying to spell it's all right. I love the stream. Thank you. Appreciate that. You look like South Carolina. Good. Yeah, you said it. Okay, like a fortune teller or a seer or a oracle or something like that. One of those. A psychic. a visionary, something like that. Is a lot of different names for people that can see things. So Minnie's in the house. Everybody said hello to Minnie, and everybody said hello to each other. By the way, I actually see that, Brother David. Good. All right. We are in the central part of the United States, like Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri. That region is where we're at. So, so you have the ability to have visions. Minnie's telling me that he thinks I'm a knowledgeable human. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm probably not a very good human, but I may have knowledge. Just because you have knowledge doesn't make you smart, though. But thank you for that, Minnie. I appreciate that. I'm blind and deaf. Okay. So, are you using one of the teletype machines to be able to read the chat? Or is it doing one of the um, the printouts for you? How's that working? Right, Brother David? Yes. Yeah, the dog, it's not our dog, it's a neighbor's dog. Our dog doesn't bark that much anymore. We had a dog that passed away a couple weeks ago, and our dog is not very active anymore. So, but that's the neighbor's dog. Manny says, but I'm saying you sound like wise, which is a good thing. Oh, I know. I appreciate that. Some days I don't feel very wise. I'm not going to lie, brother. I see things. It's a gift I have. Good, good. Can you tell me about one of the biggest or the strangest or anything you want to share, Pat, about one of your visions? I should. I should. Except for the fact that I'm a deadbeat. I I used to be a teacher, but now I'm old and retired, and I can't work because I'm worthless. So I appreciate the sentiment, but that was another lifetime, my friend. That was another time. You got it where we'll read it to you, but I thought you said you were deaf. How can it read it to you if you're deaf? You know what I mean? All right, Manny, we don't criticize our fellow streamers. We're not going to do anything like that. All right, Manny? So everybody on in my live streams on my channel are welcomed here. I don't care what part of the world they're from, what age they are, what color their skin is, what language they speak, what God they believe in, what God they don't believe in, or anything like that. We accept everybody on this YouTube channel. No worries, I'm just telling you the ground rules. So we appreciate everybody because I think everybody has a great value opinion. Well, it is my channel, so if I want to lecture, I will lecture because it's my channel. If you don't like my channel, then just don't be here. That's how it works. It's kind of like if I'm teaching a class, and if you don't want to hear me talking about whatever, then don't come to class. It's real simple. But everybody's welcome in my channel, my world, and we don't put up with anything about small children. We don't do any of the racial baiting or any of the sexual baiting or anything like that. So just to let you know. Mm, enjoy the heat. Enjoy your morning. Well, it's evening time for me, but yeah, I appreciate that. You're reunited with your ones in heaven. Okay, Pat believes that you're reunited with people in heaven, which I know a lot of people believe that. Manny says it's 2 a.m. here, time for me to go to sleep. All right. Chill out. Chill out, you Dorito. I don't know what you're trying to say. I think you're missing a few words or what you're trying to say there, Manny. But waffling too much now. I don't know what you mean by that either. You might try a fuller sentence or something like that. Maybe give more description. I don't know what you're trying to. Maybe you're just tired and you need to go to bed. I don't get that often, Brother David. I see my younger brother passed away and talked to him. Okay, so you've had feelings or visions of talking to your deceased loved ones because you know and you know that you will see them, which is a fundamental basic of Christianity, is that you will see, other family members in heaven down the road, right? So I know for myself, Pat, I don't ever have any visions. I just have nightmares. So, but I think it's good that you've had those and that you are having those. And I encourage you to embrace those, whatever it may be. If um, if it brings you comfort, then I would encourage you to embrace it. Like we've talked about in the past, I do believe that I don't believe in ghosts as we've all talked about in the past, but I do believe in energy and residual energies, and energy can take many different forms, and and energy could affect the human body in many, 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 many different ways. So there's not just one way or the other way that it can or cannot affect. I think every body's body is in tune to different energies and or frequencies than everybody else's. Nobody is the same. Brother David, you're going to go to beautiful places to see your family. Well, it's called heaven. Yeah, I understand that, Pat. I know what you're talking about. I do. And, but what if you don't want to see your family? What if you're, you know, let's play the devil's advocate. What if you don't want, what if you don't want to see your family? Then, because I know from growing up in a Baptist culture, it's always about when you die, you're going to get to go to heaven and you get to spend eternity with your family, right? But what if you don't want to spend eternity with your family? Uh, can you opt, and this is just plain devil's advocate, can you opt for a different version of heaven to where your version of heaven is not spent with your family? I don't know. I'm just curious. I have dreams about the people like my family in heaven. Okay, Adam has dreams about family in heaven. Lorelai says she doubts if her father will go to heaven. Well, you never know. I mean, we don't know. That's one thing. Pat says, Brother David, God forgives all as long as you forgive them too. Well, but it's not about, Pat, I wasn't meaning it was about forgiving. It was about enjoying yourself. So if heaven is supposed to be enjoyable, wouldn't you want to spend it with people that gave you the most pleasure in life? And sometimes, as we all know, that's not family members. Just because they're biologically related to you doesn't mean that you actually enjoyed them. So my question would be, I don't think it has anything to do with forgiveness. It's more about what is heaven going to be like for you individually. If you enjoyed your family and you miss your family and you have a wanting to see your family, then I'm sure that's what heaven would be for you, right? But what if you had no family? What if you were only child? Then where your heaven would have to be something different. Pat says, I have seen God, Brother David. Pat says, okay, right, Brother David. Okay, so Pat kind of gets at where I was going with that. It's a peaceful there, yes. Yeah, so it's peaceful, and that's kind of what I mean. Everybody's version of heaven and/or peace is probably different, right? At least I think it would be. I mean, that's how I interpret it. I don't think it's like energy or anything else, Even eating popcorn. The popcorn I just ate tastes differently to me than it would you, Pat, right? So wouldn't my heaven be different? Lorelai wants to know if you guys have seen the TV series called Lost. It's on Netflix currently. It was a big time show back about 10 or 12 years ago. Pat probably remembers it. It's about where the airplane went down over the ocean, and the quote, quote, survivors wound up on this weird, mystical island. Well, but okay. So Pat says the body will be different. Do you think there will be a body, Pat? I don't think there will be a body. I don't think there are humanly bodies in heaven, in any version of heaven. I don't think there is a physical heaven. I think it's a energy based. So every soul, whatever you want to be it, you won't be able to physically eat or touch anything. That's not how it works, in my opinion. I believe that it's all energy based. It's a feeling. It's a vibes you get. It's emotion. It has nothing to do with physical touch. So, but yeah. So Lost was that TV show about the airplane going down, and it had the doctor and all these other bad people and good people on it, and it turns out in the end they were like in purgatory, I guess, until they had to work their way off of it. But there's another really good show out there, if you guys haven't seen it, called Ghost. It's a comedian show based off of a British TV show called Ghost. And it's about ghosts who live in a really old house. And there's like a Viking, a guy from the Civil War, somebody from the 80s, somebody from the 90s. And they're all living as ghosts, but only one human can see them. And so it's a comedy, but it's really funny because when they're kind of like in purgatory in a sense, they're ghosts, right? So they haven't made it to heaven, and they haven't made it. There is a hell, and sometimes the bad ghost comes up from hell to try to take one of the good ghosts down. But it's a comedy, so it's really kind of funny. But one of the things they talk about is that when you leave purgatory or being a ghost, you get sucked off, and it's a visual thing where so like if it's their time to get to go to heaven as a ghost, then they get sucked off through the roof. It's kind of a funny thing, but I just believe everything's energy based. Is kind of where I'm at on that, Pat. So yeah, I don't think there is a physical construct in any version of heaven or hell. I don't think there's a body to be burned in hell. I just don't think that. I think your body's, turns into dirt food, worm food, whatever you want to call it. And the way we bury humans now, they just stay in a coffin. I think we ought to go back to burying people in pine boxes and putting them in the ground and letting the Mother Nature take care of the body and decomposing it and sending it back into the earth versus putting it into a coffin situation and leaving it there for 102 years. I don't like that concept. I'm more of the type that believe in green burials, where I think it's better to go back to the earth. That's why I'm a big fan of cremation. I think cremation's a good way because your body serves no purpose after your body quits functioning. It's just the way it is. It's like my dog Daisy, who died a few weeks ago. Her body served no function after she died. So, okay, Pat, what I was talking about was in heaven, in any version of heaven, I believe there is no physical body. So you can't touch anything. You can't feel no pain in your body because there is no body to feel pain in, and even in hell. So I'm a big believer in that. I think it's all energy based, spirit based, whatever you want to call it, soul based. But there is no physical construct of a body in heaven or hell and any religious beliefs. I just don't think that. And it's kind of like the green burials where instead of being put into a coffin and being stuck under the ground 6 feet under for your body to lay in a coffin for hundreds of years, green burial is where you're put into the ground, usually not even in a pine box, but your body truly goes back to the earth. And I'm a big believer in that. That's why I like cremation so much. So your body serves no function once you're deceased. Absolutely none whatsoever. That's how I see it. I just don't think your body has a function. And yeah, I just don't see it. But I did see something funny the other day that I think is really funny. There, I was watching a show about reincarnation the other day, and I'm not a big fan of I don't. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not absolutely against it, but I don't truly believe that people are reincarnated. So, like the Dalai Lama, I don't necessarily believe that. But there's a thing about reincarnation the other day, and they were talking about how people today are being like even Taylor Swift has reincarnated. She has a she there's an actress from the 1920s or something that she's supposed to be reincarnated of. Well, I disagree with that. And there's so many people now. Johnny Depp is one of them. Apparently, there's somebody back from a couple hundred years ago that looks like Johnny Depp. Well, but what you have to understand is it's all about mathematical numbers. If you're born, let's say you're Norwegian, or let's just say, look, if I'm of Germanish blood, right? So every human being that has Germanish blood have a lot of common physical traits. So the chances are that you're going to have multiple German blooded people that look very, very, very similar to each other is extremely high. It's just mathematical probability. You can't have, now they're not going to be exact, that's an identical twin. And once they really get looking at it, these people are not exact copies of each other, but they come from the same bloodline, the same heritage, the same culture, or the same geographical locations, and they look a lot alike. So I thought that was interesting how a lot of people really believe in reincarnation, but I'm just not a believer in reincarnation. I just think it's math. I can't explain that, Brother David, about death. Okay, explain it, Pat. Let me know what you think about death. Tell me about death. So I just believe the physical body no longer exists. It doesn't, look, um, um, and we know this by science and by nature. Lorelei says it looks like no one can explain after death since nobody scientifically can explain with concrete evidence of it. That's right. There is no absolute because we don't know. It's only belief and faith. It exists. Death exists. What do you believe exists, Pat? Help me out. Do you think the body, your physical body, will be in heaven? Is that what I'm trying to say, or try to help narrow it down? So do you believe that when you die to heaven, Pat, your body's going to go with you? Because my grandparents did that. My grandparents believed that when they went to heaven, their body went with them, not only their spirit and their everything else, but now their body would no longer be in pain. And I used to tell them, I said, well, why your body's not in pain is because you don't have a body anymore. So, but they believed that they would be healed. Their body would be healed in heaven. Well, I take it one step further and say, well, why it's healed is because you no longer need a human body. It's not like you're going to go to the bathroom every day. It's not like you're going to be eating food every day. You don't need a body in heaven. But I know a lot of folks believe that they have a physical body that would go to heaven. So I just don't believe that. Am I um, getting it at all? What you're thinking, Pat? Because I don't want to say I'm speaking for you. Just trying to understand if you think there's a physical body or a non-physical body. Pat says, I see there are a body is going to be different than our normal body. Okay, so are you saying that your body, when you go to heaven, your body will be different than the body you have now? Would it be better or worse, or just different? My grandparents truly believed that they would be better, that their body would be rid of all disease, all pain, and all of that. And they grew up Baptist. So, and I know a lot of Baptist people believe that. A lot of religions believe that. Is that kind of what you mean? Different from how we live on earth. Okay. So, how is it different? Can you give me a couple of words about how the body would be different? You know, the only difference I've ever heard of was it would be rid of pain, disease, and anguish. You know what I mean? Physically, the body, because only a soul can touch soul. That's why the crippled, before we stand on its own 2 feet, the blind has clear vision, the loss of a leg has stand on 2 legs. Okay? So, yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of where I'm at on that, Pat. Are you kind of following what Lorelai thinks too, and like my grandparents did? You know, my grandmother used to always talk, 'cause she had bad hips and bad health and blah 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 and all these other things wrong with her, about how she would have a new body in heaven. You know, and I didn't want to burst her bubble, but if that's what she thought, that's great. And I think it's okay to think that. I just see everything as an energy base. Okay. So Pat says, for example, here on earth, we will get a new body in heaven with no more pain. That's what my grandparents believed too. So, and I know that's a real line of thinking throughout a lot of religious beliefs. So, nothing wrong with that. Soul can't feel pain, so no body is needed. We have a normal body when we pass away, a new body, okay? Can your new, and I'm just playing devil's advocate, Pat, asking questions. Can the new body, would it function like the old body? Same biological functions? Forget the pain and the suffering and all of that. But your new body, is it kind of like the same as the old body, biologically? It said the new body, since they can't feel pain and soul life. Okay, correct. All right, all right. So, um, memories are different too, or else they will fight after life. Correct. Lorelai, I know that's the other side of that coin, is you get a new body, but you also, all of the old drama goes away. So there's no drama in heaven. So all of the bad things that ever happened to you or that you did to somebody else is supposed to be gone away, right? And so all the horrible family members that did bad things to you, or all the bad people that did bad things to you, or whatever, all of that starts all over again. Yes, yes, the body will move like we're on earth, has a new body. No more, Brother David, it will be all gone away. That's right. So, and I know that, and I know from growing up as a Baptist, that's a common theme is you get a new body, no pain, no suffering. There's also no angst or issues or drama in heaven. It's supposed to be, well, heaven. It's supposed to be heavenly. You're supposed to not to have that drama. Lorelei says, yep, that's how it said everyone is equal, no flows, everybody. The same but different faces, no starving, no pain. When you meet your family, all is forgiven. Well, but what if you don't have anything to forgive, Pat? You know, I like to play devil's advocate. And this is kind of where I was going back earlier. I have nothing to forgive family for or anything like that. I just don't want to hang out with them. I'd rather go fishing and hang out with friends that I've known. You know what I mean? So Yep, you can ask God for all things. I agree. I agree. Whatever, I think that's a common thread in all religions that you can ask God for all things, and He will or will not grant them based on what His will is to be. Family are not all your precious family on earth. That's right. All are the same one, all in one family. Everybody's family then. So, are we saying that all human beings are now family? Things as Brother David, we need to forgive all things. We will come onto place. Well, I understand, Pat. I know what you're saying. I get it. What I'm saying is, but what if you have nothing to forgive? So, part of theology is this root that now I believe everybody's a sinner in the definition of the word sin. Everybody's a sinner, but I don't believe that people always have something to forgive others of or to be forgiven of. I'm not saying people are perfect, but if you don't have anybody that you need to forgive, but who are you going to forgive, Pat? What if I mean, who does a 5-year-old child forgive? I mean, if you've lived a good life and done everything you could, who are you forgiving? Are you forgiving yourself? I mean, you see what I'm saying? Forgiveness is important for healing and self worth. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with what you're saying. I'm just trying to dig a little deeper and going, um, hi, Gus. I miss Gus coming in. Gus, good evening. David, how are you? I'm doing good. Hello, Brother Pat from Gus. Thank you for coming in, Gus. Thank you. How's things in Georgia? Lorelai says hello to you. So, yeah, you're right. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. But if if you don't have anybody that you need to forgive for doing wrong to you, because I think if you're waiting, I believe this. I think forgiveness is part psychology. I believe that if you're sitting around waiting for somebody to forgive you for something they did to you or you did to them, then you're wasting a lot of your time. You have to move on. You can't allow that burdensome of wanting to be forgiven. You got to move on from that. Uh, Gus says, hello, how are you to Lorelei? Everything is going good? Good, good, good. I'm sure you have a nice warm weather there in Georgia. We're finally having a few days of really nice warm weather here. So, good to see you though, Gus. We appreciate you coming in and giving us a thumbs up. So that's how I'm looking at it is you only need to forgive somebody if you feel like they've done you wrong. And then you need to look at why do you feel like they've done you wrong? Is that our ego getting in the way? Well, if I think, well, I've been wronged, well, then who am I to say what that person did was wrong? Isn't that me saying that I'm better than they are, that I'm smarter than they are, that my values mean more than their values because now I look down upon them because I think they did something wrong to me? You know what I mean? What I believe is that when somebody's about to die, the person can see the loved ones who passed away first, been witnessed in a few times. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think that's a possibility, Lorelei. For example, Pat says, if I did something wrong, Brother David, I ask forgiveness. I would agree. And I think that's for your own psychology, for your own mental health, right? I told, I can tell you the story about my dad and my brother. You know, they're called to see someone that we can see before they pass, yes. Well, we all should forgive everybody. Be true. Well, see, and maybe it's the word forgiveness. I get hung up on this, Pat, and this is just and Gus and Lorelai and everybody who's listening in the background. You only have to forgive when you think you've been wronged, right? should we should never let anybody have control over us. We should never we should never let people have power over us. We should never give people so much authority over us that they affect our life in a negative way. So God chose me, you Brother David. Yep, that's right, Brother David. All right. So I don't feel like I need to forgive anybody, Pat, because I don't feel like anybody's done anything that has bothered me so much. Because I accept people for who they are, faults and all. You know, a lot of good people in the world, a lot of bad people. A lot of good people do bad things. But just because they do 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 bad things or have a bad day doesn't make them a bad person. So I think understanding human behavior is extremely important on how we deal with people in general. The problem is the other one that thinks it's your fault, that's why no one will ask. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Yeah, we all make mistakes. The question is whether it's, I know a mistake is not intentional, but the question is, was the mistake an honest mistake, just a true mistake, or was it a bad decision that we made? And the degree of that, it is a mistake if I get drunk and I drive my car and kill somebody. Well, yeah, that was a mistake. Horrible. But that mistake could have been averted. If I'm just putting along in Walmart parking lot and somebody jumps out in front of me and they bump my car and fall down, well, see what I mean? The degree of that. Yeah, but Pat, I agree with a lot of people believe that you should just ask for forgiveness. But forgiveness for what? What have you done that needs to be forgiven is kind of where I'm getting at. What is it that you've done, that you feel like you've done, that you need to be forgiven for? Kind of where I'm at with that, because I know a lot of people that believe in forgiveness. They ask forgiveness every other day. I'm like, well, that's great. It's kind of like Catholics. They go to church and say Hail Marys and go get drunk on Saturday nights. And they come back on church on Sundays, or Baptist, whatever. They go get drunk on Saturday night and ask forgiveness on Sunday. Oh, I'll never do that again. Meme is in the house. Meme says, hello to you, Meme. Exactly, I'm drunk and I don't drive right now. Well, that's a good thing. Drinking and driving is always bad, never I do. Yeah, Pat says, okay. Yeah, like stealing, cheating, husband-wife stuff. Yeah, hurting people intentionally. Drinking, you're right, Brother David. So you kind of get the degree. But if I'm walking through Walmart and I bump into somebody accidentally and knock them down and they break their leg, do I need to be forgiven because we accidentally bumped into each other? So that's kind of where I'm at on that. If I see somebody walking in Walmart and they've irritated me and I kick their kneecap out of them and break their leg, well, then maybe, yeah, I should be forgiven for that, right? Or they would be the ones who would need to forgive me. I don't need to forgive myself for kicking them in the knee. So, Lorelai's asking you, Meme, how is Germany? Apparently Germany's going really well because he's drinking in the middle of the night. So, or if it was a mistake, right? But I don't, so I guess I'm one of these people that I don't know how you can forgive a mistake. It's like, I want to forgive the fact that we didn't get sun today and the clouds came out and it rained. It's like, I don't know how you can forgive a mistake, a true definition of a mistake. A mistake is a very unintentional act. Meme says, how's Germany? Yes, my wife is asking you, Meme, how's Germany? Or walking in front of someone in Walmart, do you owe an apology that you passed them without saying, excuse me, in Walmart? Yeah, I don't know. I think that depends on you. I don't think you do, personally. I guess if somebody gets offended by it, then doesn't that mean that person has thin skin? And they should ask forgiveness for having thin skin versus expecting me to ask them to forgive me for walking in front of you and not saying, excuse me. Well, maybe I'm offended because they have thin skin and they can't tolerate, or they think they are so important that whoever walks in front of them should say, oh, excuse me. So who's right, who's wrong? Who needs to be forgiven? Pat says both. I see you through your heart, Brother David. God knows your brother. Yeah. Lorelei, both. Yeah. See, and I don't necessarily think that if you're going about your day, minding your business, doing your thing, focusing on what you need to get focused on, you have anything to be forgiven for. I wouldn't expect somebody to say, "Oh, I am so sorry, sir. I didn't mean to cut in front of you." Because when somebody does that to me, I'm like, "It's all right. Not a big deal. It happens every day. It's just the way life is." I believe you, Pat. I believe you. What does it mean? How's Germany? She's asking, how is Germany? How are things in Germany, meme? She's asking you, hey man, what's going on in Germany? What have you been up to in Germany? What's going on in Germany? Germany, Germany, Germany. The person get offended in the Walmart might down of anxiety is growing population, expecting that damn dogs won't shut up. Yeah, I mean, if you have anxiety, is that something that you have to be forgiven for? Because I look at this sometimes and go, I think we try to cover all of our bases. I think everybody is working extra hard to make sure they don't do. Man, I wish that dog would shut up. You know, it's kind of like, it's like I was saying, making fun of the Baptists or the Catholics, right? When they go out partying all night and get drunk and raise hell, or they beat their wives and they go to church and say, no, 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 God forgive me for beating my wife. Well, but that's the 12th time I've done it this year. So maybe I need to have a soul searching moment with myself and quit doing it. Yeah, it's that dog Pat. Sorry about that. Hopefully it'll be quiet. So I just think people. I think there's a lot of things. I think people are too touchy. I think they're too sensitive. I think people are a little bit of too everything. I think people are worried about everything. And I think if we have less worry in life, then we have more peace in life. My train goes to Berlin at 8 a.m. Nice. Train to Berlin in 5 hours. All right, so you're going to Berlin in 5 hours. What are you going to do in Berlin besides flirt with girls? And I don't think, Pat, and what I will say this for all of you people, for everybody, is I'm never one to tell you that you're right or wrong about any religious beliefs that you have, because I believe everybody has valid points. And I don't think we should hold against others for thinking and feeling differently, because as Lorelei stated earlier in the night, nobody knows the absolute truth. We feel like we know the truth, but we don't know the absolute truth. We don't know. We don't know if the visions that we're having, if the dead people that we see, that if it's not just a delusion of our brain. We don't know truly the afterlife. Now, I think it's beneficial for people to have faith and beliefs. I really do. I think it makes the world go around. It makes the world a better place for people to believe in something, one thing or another. But I'm going to tell you point blankly, I don't necessarily believe one religion is any better than the other. I really don't. I see that you have a good heart. David, God is showing me, brother. Yeah, I have a good heart, I think. I got to have a new pacemaker put in later this year, Pat. But I don't wish for ill will on people, Pat. That's kind of my thing. I'm more the philosophy of I try to do the best I can. I worry about myself, taking care of my business, minding my business, not sticking my nose in, and not trying to correct everybody to think the way I think. I think it'd be a very boring, boring, boring world if we all thought alike. I think it'd be miserable. Damn fly. I met some people from YouTube in Berlin. We have a chat member meeting in Berlin. Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. Well, make sure you tell them all about my YouTube channel because I need new subscribers. And remember, I'm still trying to raise that $5 million to buy Lorelei an intercoastal water house in Florida. I still need that $5 million meme. So, you know, come on, you got to help me out here. Pat says, yeah, you're kind of right, Brother David. Of course, I have zero patience. That's why we still married until now. What? Of course, I have zero patience. That's why we still married until now. We're still married because you have zero patience? That doesn't make any sense. God made you and me, Brother David. We are brothers for life and blood through the grace of God, brother. Yes. And I think that's a common theme in all religions. And now that's one of the selling points, because, you know, I like to look at things from an academic study. That's one of the selling points in religion, is that you, once you adopt a religion, any beliefs, you immediately get to have a family. You immediately get to be a part of the clique, the part of the in group. You immediately get brothers and sisters in Christ, or Judaism, or whatever it may be. Is that Missy's channel? Hi, Missy. Hello to you. Thank you, Missy. We appreciate you coming in. Thank you for the thumbs. Everybody say hello to Missy's channel, or else I junk you. Oh, well, whatever. Hi, Missy. Well, we all brother and sisters. All one. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think it does any good for any religion, any group of people, anything to hate on each other. It doesn't do any good. It doesn't make any sense. I think it takes too much energy to hate on another group of people or an individual. Look, I don't like people. I'm not one that has a great level of tolerance, but, and I know this about myself. So therefore, I stay out of the way of others because I should never inflict my will and my ideology and my thoughts on other people. I shouldn't force you to believe like I believe. The world would be, like I said, extremely boring. But there's too much hate in the world. It doesn't do any good. I know it's good. It's good for YouTube. It's good for the news. It's good for, you know, somebody making money. But it's not good for the human psyche. I'll take you on a trip with me, Brother David, and we will meet. You ask me anything. All right. Well, okay. Pat, looking forward to it. David, when someone said you're a good guy, I said I definitely agree since we have been together until now. If not good, I'll junk you already. Oh, I got you. All right. Well, maybe. I don't know. It's too hard to be. It's easier to be a bad guy. It's not easy being a good guy. I don't think I am a good guy, to be honest. You know, I really don't. I don't think I'm a good guy. I don't have patience. I shouldn't. I don't like putting up a crap and put up a bullshit. I don't like it. I don't. And so I'm actually not a good guy. So, but I appreciate the thought, but I'm just not. And I know that. And maybe the people that think I'm a good guy are delusional. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm more of a mind my own business type of guy. That's why I come off as a good guy, because I do try to believe in minding my own business, but I also try to encourage you to have your own business and to think your own thoughts. Maybe, you know, I'm okay, you know, and I got friends from all walk of lives, all religious beliefs, all, God, social economic, you know, statuses in the world. I just think it's okay. I think it's okay. No, Brother David. Meme says, good guy is a puppet. A good guy is a puppet? I don't know if I would agree with that. Are you talking about what we maybe call in America like a doormat? I think some people can be doormats because they're afraid of not being a good or seen as a good person. So they can get, Good Guy is a movie. Good Guy. Oh no! Oh, you're talking about the movie with Ryan Reynolds? He wasn't a puppet. He was a video game, wasn't he? A video game, an Avatar or something. Well, I appreciate that, Pat. I do. Lorelai says, "I wish David is a puppet, but he's the boss in our house." Yeah, right. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, yeah. Good guy. Was it Good Guy? Was that the name of the movie? Or Game Guy? Yeah. It was a good movie though. I liked the movie. Good was it Good Guy? Was that the name of the movie? But I do think people can be too much of a good guy. I think it's sometimes horror movie. I've never heard of a horror movie called Good Guy. You thinking of Chucky? You know, the little doll? I think people do have to be careful about trying too hard to be a good guy. I think it's important sometimes to stand on your own 2 feet, to stand up for yourself, to make a stance, whether people like it or not. Now, a lot of people are going to think whatever you do is bad, and that's something that we all know. It's like, all right, so if I'm at Walmart and I walk in for somebody and doesn't say excuse me, well, that person may think I'm a good guy or a bad guy because I didn't say excuse me. Or somebody like me, when that happens, I don't acknowledge because I don't care if you don't say excuse me when you walk in front of me at Walmart. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. I don't feel like I'm that important enough or that it's so important in my life that you got to stop and turn your focus to me and say, "Oh, I am so sorry for stepping in front of you." Yeah, it's Walmart. Get your eggs and go about your business. You know, Chucky, you make mistakes, Brother David. God, yeah, I agree. But I go back to that whole thing. If it's a mistake, does it? That damn dog. Hang on. Lily. Give me a second. See if that dog will shut the heck up. But Pat, I go back to this, back to what I said earlier, and this is just for an academic study: is if it's a mistake, do you need to be forgiven for a mistake? I think if you do something wrong, then you should be forgiven for your wrongness. Can't think of a better word. For your negativity. But if it's truly a mistake, I make a mistake by writing a capital letter versus a lowercase letter sometimes. That's a mistake. Hawkbird is in the house. Sometimes Starbucks is expensive, but it's okay. Well, then Hawkbird, you must be rich because in my world, Starbucks is always expensive. Sometimes it's always expensive. Yeah, see, Meme agree, it's always expensive. But you need to be forgiven. You're right. I agree with you, brother. All right. So that's kind of where I'm at. You know, if I misspell a word, do I need to be forgiven? That's a mistake. If I intentionally punch somebody in the face, well, that's not a nice thing, which sometimes I want to do a lot of. You know, so that's kind of where I'm at with that, Pat. It's all about, I believe, your intent. Depends on my wallet. So sometimes I think Starbucks, we can't afford Starbucks. One, Starbucks has too much sugar in their drinks, even though I like sugar. Well, see, you know, eating sugar, they say, is bad for you. So if I continue to do it, do I need to be forgiven for eating sugar? Or is it just a mistake when I order a drink that has a lot of sugar in it and I didn't realize that I'm kind of weird on that. So we can get good coffee. Well, you got to have a lot of money to buy coffee. I don't know how much Starbucks costs anymore. I don't even know what the cheapest thing you can buy at Starbucks. What is it, $8 or $9 for something? Where can you get good coffee? Meme says he can get them in Italy. He's probably talking about those little bitty things of espresso, right? Is that what you're talking about? Well, I think it depends on your definition of good coffee. I really do. I'm not a big coffee drinker. I'm just not. But I think it depends on your definition. And I think Pat's a coffee drinker, Pat. So, what is your definition of good coffee? Is it one of the fruity tooty coffees that have caramel and latte and whipped cream? Is that a good coffee? Or is it truly like a shot of espresso? Is it like just a cup of brewed coffee with a little bit of sugar and cream in it? What is your definition? And that's the question I have for you. And I'll tell you what I think, but what is your definition of a good coffee? My definition of good coffee is basically just a cup of black coffee with some sugar and cream in it. That's it. I think all the other ones are just hot milkshakes. And they may taste good, but they're definitely not good for you. So, Meme says, cafe latte. I like the mild only, less sugar. Okay, with milk, yes. So, I mean, I like a lot of the fruity coffees are good. Don't get me wrong, all that sugar and chocolatey or coffee or whatever flavor is great. So, Craig says, interesting topic today. It's all a distraction of complicated process that we don't understand. You're talking about forgiveness, non-forgiveness, belief, heaven, earth, hell, or coffee. So, because coffee can be quite confusing too, Craig. But thank you for coming in, Craig. Appreciate you. So, I respect everybody's opinion. I like learning what other people think and feel. But I think it is all very much individualized, is what I think. Craig says all of it, even including the coffee. The coffee. So, but I like the fruity coffee, what I call the frou-frou coffees. But sometimes just having a black cup of coffee in a cold winter day with sugar and cream or milk is all you need. You don't need to pay $12 to get, you know, a coffee that has 5 cups of sugar in it and some caramel latte, creamer, apple cinnamon, pumpkin swirl, cinnamon sticky thingy in it. So, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that helps you with your coffee question, Hawk. You're planning to get a coffee machine. All right. Well, that's good. Maybe I would study those really hard. We have a coffee maker, but I don't make coffee. Good think the China is doing good to us now. Maybe it will be cheaper. Though the coffee will get cheaper because trade agreement with China is in the works. The UK, everybody is behaving better now. So coffee may come down, but I don't think China produces coffee. Not sure we can get at Walmart. Well, I would think about, seriously, before you buy your coffee maker, what kind of coffee do you want? And I mean that. I mean, what kind of coffee do you want? If you're wanting just black coffee with some cream and sugar in it, well, then an old-fashioned Mr. Coffee can work for you. If you're thinking you need one of those big fruity coffees, then maybe it's you got to get one of those nicer machines. I don't know. Less sugar, like sachets, little packs, yeah. But I don't know. Craig's in Australia. What does Craig do for coffee? Meme says, well, right now my head's going to explode because I had too much beer and not enough coffee. So, yeah, I would just I don't think it's about the coffee machine itself. I think it's about the coffee, the quality of coffee that you buy. And now I'm not a coffee expert by any stretch, but I would focus more on good quality coffee versus a fancy coffee maker is what I would focus on. So that's kind of how I would do it. But sometimes just having a good old black cup of coffee with some cream and sugar is good. Yes, they're $1 billion company. Oh, that's really less. Oh, yes. My coffee comes from the Netherlands. I didn't know the Netherlands produces coffee. You mean they buy it from Colombia, then repackage it and make it look like it comes from the Netherlands? Yeah. My coffee comes from Aldi's. So, well, Craig, do you eat the 3-in-1, the Filipino coffee 3-in-1? Let me get you guys turned around so you can see us a little better. The Netherlands imports coffee. That's correct. Yes. We don't go through enough coffee. It's a big waste of money here. We have some of the 3-in-1, but I got to the point where I don't like it anymore, so I don't drink it anymore. I do like coffee flavor. I will say that. If you can have like a dessert that has coffee flavor in it, I think that's really nice, like a coffee cake or a coffee ice cream. A lot of that stuff is really good. Craig has some of the 3-in-1, but they don't drink it. Yeah, we have some too. I used to drink it all the time, and I like it, like it, like it. But I think it's really, really, really bad for you because it's nothing but chemicals. Yeah, we have Aldi's here in America, Craig. America has Aldi's and Trader Joe's, which are owned by the German, I think they're German brothers who started Aldi's and Trader Joe's. So I didn't know you guys had Aldi's in Australia, Craig. I didn't know that. But I'm not a big coffee drinker. I do like green tea. I do like to have in my Chinese green tea during the winter with a little bit of sugar, a little bit of honey in it. But I do like coffee flavored things. So, but making a cup of coffee here at home, it's been about 12 years or so. Oh, we've had Aldi's, gosh, probably since the early 80s around here. We had an Aldi's back when I was still in junior high school here. So, because my grandmother, who's German, on the weekends, part of our job was we'd go grocery shopping with her. And back then, what you would do is you would hit the sales paper, get all the coupons, and we'd have to go to IGA, Independent Grocery Association store, Walmart, Aldi's, all these different stores to buy 2 or 3 items at each store because she could save money at these two. And I'm just thinking, man, it'd be cheaper just to go to one store, right? But back in the day, that's what we did. We did that. So we've had Aldi's here forever and ever and ever and ever. I don't think Lorelai and I have been to an Aldi's in several years, though. We don't seem to go there very often. I don't think Lorelai likes some of the Aldi, some of the products that they have. I don't really know why we don't go there. Do you know Liddy? No. Is that Liddy or LIDL? No, I don't know that one. I don't know that one. What is it? We know about Linden chocolate. Pat says, haven't been to Aldi's, and we haven't either. And I don't know why we don't go, but we don't go. I don't know why we don't go. But I haven't been there either. A lot of people like it. I think they find it as an alternative to Walmart. So I think around here it's kind of like the anti-Walmart crowd. Is the other part to Aldi's? No, I never heard of it. I know Trader Joe's was started by the other Aldi brother. So there's two brothers that started Aldi's. And Trader Joe is started by one brother and blah, blah, blah. And so I know that, but no, I don't know that. So, Meme, what does that do? Is it a grocery store, clothing store? What is it? What does it sell? Or are you just giving me a hard time? Pat says, I know certain goods they have, I will buy it. Yeah, I don't. We just haven't been there in years enough to even know what what to buy there. The Aldi brand. I don't know. I mean, we truly haven't been there. You guys want to see my green lights? Did you guys see my video I did the other day about my outdoors area? See my green lights? My new solar lighting? You guys like that? See? Shines up on the floor. You guys want to see a better look at it? Let me get up and show you guys. It's also a grocery store. Okay. Here's my new solar lighting. Now, I didn't buy these at Aldi's. I bought them off Amazon. See, all of my neighbors have those type of lights. You see those? So I wanted to be different. Black is Aldi and white is Liddy. I don't know. So here's our lights, see? They kind of shine down on the ground. Pretty cool, right? All right. There we go. Got the camera good adjusted. Black is Aldi. I like those lights. Good, thank you. Appreciate that. They actually can change colors. They are purple, blue, green, bright white, off white, and they're solar. So, sorry, I'm catching my breath. I'm sitting outdoors. All right, well, catch your breath. Don't overdo it. So, yeah, we got the nice, cool lights. I like the solar lights. They look good. Oh, I need to see if the other ones are working. Hang on, I need to, whoops. All right, I'm going to take you on a walk. Let's go this way. I put up a couple more solar lights out here the other day. I want to see if they're working at all. They're just cheap ones we got at Burlington. Oh, look at that. See this lights here? I put these up so late at night when I need to take the trash out, I can see my way around the air conditioner unit. Now the birds are gone. The birds are gone. Yeah, the birds are gone, Lorelei. I don't know if they flew away or the mama bird moved them, but they're gone. So there's, yeah, they're gone. There's nobody there. And the two parent birds aren't there. So there's no birds there anymore in the bird's nest. I'll show you a close-up of that light. See? See, look at that. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, maybe, Lorelei. Or maybe we were moving around so much. That the birds flew away because they didn't like us disrupting them. But they're gone. So, see that, Pat says? Good. Like that? Well, I don't think a raccoon got them. I think they flew away. They were already pretty big. They were getting pretty big. So, maybe she moved him, or because we were over there installing the lights. So, but yeah, you never know. You never know. But they're gone. I checked today and yesterday, and they're not there. So, but I don't think anybody got them. I don't think a bug or, whatever. A raccoon got the birds. So, yeah, they hatch pretty fast, and the birds grow pretty fast too. So, but the two little solar lights on the side of the house works pretty good. Well, they were growing really fast. They don't take long to grow, but yeah, we can video chat for a little bit, Pat. Sure, sure, sure. Absolutely, Pat. Yeah, yeah. You probably can't see me very well because of the lighting back here. Let me see if I can adjust myself so you guys can see a little bit of lighting better. There we go. Maybe that will work. So, Lorelai, I don't know. All right, Pat. All right, Pat, we will. Yeah, I don't know about how long it takes them to do their thing. So, but that I really don't know. Man, life is stressful. Life is stressful, then you wake up and you realize you got to do it all over again. Meme. I have no clue what you're saying, but hey, I believe it, man. I believe it. And if you're saying it, I'm believing it. You okay, Lily? Our dog Lily is sad because our other dog's dead. Oh, Lily. Come here. Good girl. Oh. Come on. Let me get you turned around. Oh. What? I probably should have turned the light on out here. Your pacifier fell down? That's funny. Is that the one loaded with ecstasy or alcohol? What? Oh, maybe I can give you guys some more light. See, there we are. How's that? Can you guys see me better now? Do I look like a ghost? A spirit? What? All right. You all right, Lily? So, yeah, me and my dog, Lorelai's dog. So, Craig, what's happening down in Australia these days? Are you busy working, Craig? Making that money? Slaving away? I mean, both, freak. Well, we know how you Germans are, how you Europeans are, you know. We hear the rumors about you Europeans, how you guys like to run around and pee everywhere, you Europeans. So, all right, Pat says, I am here. I am here. A spirit, yes, I kind of look that way, don't I? You know, a little backlighting. I forgot to turn the porch light on, so I thought I would just sit here like this for a little bit in the dark. This is Lily. I don't know if you guys can see Lily. This is her big nose. See it? See? Excuse me. Oh, yes, I am a spirit. I am the great spirit from beyond. What? Isn't that part of the Christmas Carol? The great spirit from beyond. So, or tomorrow, or yesterday, or whatever it is. So, you Europeans, that's right, they go everywhere and peeing. Ma'am, are you excited that the United States decided to bless the European nations and do a business deal with them? We're going to go back into trade. We're gonna like you guys again. We're not going to have to get rid of Europe. Glad that America has come to your rescue and saved you guys. You know that you guys are actually going to have a good economy because of us now. you know, I was telling somebody today. Craig says, "Yep, bust. Going to take off in 5. Got to run deliveries to my daughter's business soon. Just called me. She needs it for a client at an hour, and it's a half-hour drive. Wow, Craig. Well, it's good of you, Craig. Though. See, she knows she can count on you. Dad, come save me. We need help. Hurry, Craig. Craig, Daddy. By the way, you're a great dad. Come on, help me out. Ah, it's good of you, Craig. We're glad you came in and visited for a little bit, Craig. I'm going to be getting off of here myself shortly. I'm here in a few minutes. We're not going to hang out here all night tonight. So I'm just going to relax and take a chill. So not the most enthusiastic person in the world. I give a shit about this stuff. Well, you will. You will if we take all your money. Come on, man. What if we give away? What if we take away all the beer in Europe? What if we don't let you Europeans have any beer? What will you guys do if America doesn't give you any beer? Because I know there is no good beer making in Europe. Mm, man is man. It is. Man is man. We are. All right. So, but we can only do what we can do, right? We don't get too stressed over it either. I don't get too wrapped up into a lot of the stuff. I can only do what I can do. But, at least in America, things seems to be getting better. So that's what's all important to me. Economy seems to be better here. Gas is down and up and down and up, but down. Eggs are cheaper. Food's cheaper. So, things are getting better. Things are getting better. Take my money. Take it anytime, buddy. I'm still trying to get that $5 million. So I'll take that money anytime anybody doesn't need it. I got a place for it in my bank account. And if I need to make extra room, I'll make extra room. Huh, Lily? So, all right. So I think I've been on here a little bit over 2 hours or an hour and a half, 2 hours. I don't know. So I'm going to get off of here, everybody. I'm going to try to do some live streams in the mornings again. I'm going to get up early and try to do morning live streams and also some evening ones too, and hopefully get to take you guys some fishing and some activities when I get feeling better. So that a little bit more to do than just look at my beautiful face and my dog's face. So, but for now, we appreciate everybody. Pat, if you want, you can message me on Facebook. Give me a minute and I'll get off of here. And we can chat if you want to chat. So, but Meme, Craig, everybody in the house, Gus, my gosh, Pat, everybody, Missy, everybody that's been here tonight. We appreciate all of y'all. Hawkbird, appreciate you very much as always. You know, my wife was here. So good to have everybody here tonight. So, all right, my friends, take care, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Big toad on the ground. Don't look at the toad. Don't do it. Yep, give me a call. All right, Pat.